Floyd Mayweather was recently hospitalized after being attacked in prison. Reports suggest the assault may have been sparked by his personality, with personal and political motives behind it. Now, with everything going on, many are questioning whether he'll be able to bounce back. At the heart of his troubles? Money. While Mayweather often boasts about his wealth, there are growing concerns that some of it might come from shady or even illegal dealings.
By a gang of pro-Palestinian protesters. Not going to get into the politics side of it, but Mayweather has doubled down on his support for Israel. Didn't end well for him, he had to run.
Back in 2017, Floyd Mayweather made an eye-popping $300 million from just one fight with Conor McGregor. That was only a glimpse of the kind of money he was pulling in at his peak, but just recently, reports have surfaced showing that his luxury lifestyle may finally be catching up to him. What once looked like an endless stream of cash now appears to be drying up. Some sources say he's facing major lawsuits and even having trouble managing everyday expenses. For years, the name Floyd Mayweather was all about wealth. His flashy lifestyle and bold displays of money were part of his image, no one questioned it. But now, it looks like years of overspending and questionable financial choices are starting to take a toll.
It's really a trick. He gets these people to box with him. They have no business boxing with him, and he's making millions and millions of dollars doing this way after his competitive career is over. That money, that money has to keep coming in if you're going to live like this.
It's absolutely, he needs money. You think he's once broke? Again, come on. Fighters like that always go broke.
Because everything that he says is about money. There's nothing else. There's no values.
One of the clearest signs of Floyd Mayweather's financial troubles is his growing list of legal issues. One ongoing lawsuit involves William Rodriguez Mercado, who says Mayweather's security team assaulted him during a video shoot while Floyd was out jogging. What first seemed like an unlucky encounter has now turned into a drawn-out legal battle, and that's not the only one. Another case involves Eduardo Torres Martinez, who claims he was attacked by Mayweather's team at a restaurant in Los Angeles. Details about what exactly happened are still unclear, but the accusations have only added to Floyd's problems. Mayweather believes these legal fights aren't just about justice, he says it's personal. In his view, it's the haters trying to get back at him, possibly even put him in danger.
It was a bunch of gambling debts. Floyd, okay, and he tried to plant fake news out here saying that he was in downtown LA giving out money, and then he was at the
For someone once praised for smart business moves and raking in massive wealth, these legal troubles are a serious hit to Floyd Mayweather's reputation. If he can't put an end to these lawsuits soon, the financial fallout could be severe. Some legal and financial experts warn that if things keep dragging on, the damage to his bank account might be permanent. Adding to the pressure is the growing backlash from the public. In 2025, Mayweather's political views have come under the spotlight, especially his support for Israel. Critics have slammed him, suggesting that his stance isn't about values, but about money. The controversy is only making things worse for a man already facing a tough year.
There has ever been an example of a human dodo bird. It is Floyd Mayweather, who just sent Air Mayweather to Israel to give them food, clothing, and other things like bulletproof vests and water that they don't need, instead of helping the Palestinians who don't have any of those things. But I'm not surprised because he doesn't even help his own people in his own backyard.
Amir Khan recently shared his thoughts on Floyd Mayweather's actions and political views. Khan didn't hold back, saying that Floyd's support for Israel seems to be all about money. He doesn't care about politics, he just wants to make money, Khan said. He even suggested that Mayweather's stance wasn't based on personal beliefs, but rather a big payday behind the scenes, and Khan isn't alone in that view. While in London, Mayweather faced a hostile crowd. Protesters surrounded him, shouting accusations that he was using his fame and influence for personal profit. Videos from the scene show Mayweather caught in the middle of the chaos, with his security team struggling to hold the crowd back as he tried to stay calm and regain control.
Money Mayweather just got punched up, bro.
The incident in London wasn't just a scuffle, it was a public spectacle and a clear sign that Mayweather's once rock-solid reputation is crumbling. It's no surprise that someone might come after him when his security isn't close by. Amid the chaos, Floyd responded with frustration, saying, "There are some haters who came at me, someone sent them. All I'm doing is offering help, but they want to see me fall." That last line, "they want to see me fall," sums up his current reality. In 2025, it feels like every step he takes is met with resistance, whether it's legal trouble, public backlash, or professional setbacks.
You know, I feel like people was rooting for me, wanted the best for me. And the more and more as I accomplished more and kept accomplishing things, then you start seeing like different things. Then you start saying, he's a wife beater, or he's not that smart, or you hear so many different things. And I just feel like, okay, you're entitled to believe whatever you want to believe.
On top of the social and political drama, Floyd Mayweather's financial troubles appear to be getting worse. The idea of him needing to step back into the ring just to make ends meet, once unthinkable, is now starting to look very real. These days, exhibition fights have become his main source of income, as traditional pay-per-view events bring in less money and happen far less often. After retiring, Mayweather grabbed headlines with a string of exhibition matches, the most notable being his 2021 bout with YouTuber Logan Paul, which brought in millions, but even that payday has sparked controversy. Logan Paul has since claimed that Mayweather failed to pay him the $5 million he was owed, fueling speculation that Floyd, despite his flashy image, might actually be broke.
So that's what's interesting is Floyd's making more money than anybody, and his boxing people have no chance of beating him, and he's doing it as an exhibition. It doesn't even hurt his record.
Because of the drug of boxing. Just
also
like
money.
But I don't even think he don't need it.
He spends so much money.
Yeah, but he don't need it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, Floyd could.
I bet if he's playing for the future.
That view has been echoed by several big names, but perhaps the most striking comment came from Gervonta "Tank" Davis, a fighter who once trained under Mayweather. Davis publicly claimed that Floyd not only owes money but may even be stuck in Dubai due to financial restrictions. Insiders in the boxing world seem to agree. Many believe these exhibition fights aren't just for fun or legacy, they're a financial lifeline. For a man who once proudly called himself the greatest of all time, it's a sharp contrast. Now, Mayweather appears to be chasing quick paydays through low-risk matches, just to keep things afloat.
Most brilliant fighter that ever lived. Yeah. So he's kind of like the beast of fighting. Beast is like, how do I get the algorithm and the numbers?
100%.
Floyd doesn't care who watches, who likes, doesn't matter.
Right.
Floyd only cares about the points.
I like that comparison.
Yeah,
but Logan having almost beat Floyd, that's got to put him in the top 3.
For him, it's just strategy. It's like, how do I do everything?
British boxing promoter Eddie Hearn also shared his thoughts, pointing out that Floyd Mayweather's financial future might depend on whether he continues doing exhibition fights. Hearn made it clear, Floyd doesn't need to prove anything when it comes to his legacy. But if he wants to keep the money flowing, stepping into the ring, even for low-risk exhibitions, is becoming a necessity. According to Hearn, Mayweather's lifestyle is no longer financially sustainable without these fights, no matter how small the stakes might be compared to a real bout.
These guys carry on and they do the exhibitions and all that kind of stuff. It just sort of diminishes the legacy a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
And that's what I feel like's happened with Mayweather.
Why do you think he does those things, though? Do you think
money? I don't think he's got the money he says. That's what I think.
You think he still needs the money?
I don't think he needs the money. But you know when you got that lifestyle, right? So when you're spending what he's spending.
The reality of Floyd Mayweather's situation is becoming more obvious. He's facing serious financial struggles, and exhibitions seem to be his only way out. This is a far cry from the glory days of his career, when he earned millions per fight and lived in luxury. Now, Floyd is looking for any chance to step back in the ring, hoping these exhibition matches will help him weather both his legal and financial challenges.
How difficult is it actually walking away from the sport?
Remember, my philosophy is never stop getting it. You know, we look at some individuals like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. You know, I talked about this before. They're able to make money in billions of dollars, and people still buy their products. People still support them. I'd make a ton of money, you know, outside the ring, but I like doing this. It keeps me in shape. It keeps me motivated to keep working hard every day. I like it. You know,
But Floyd Mayweather's downfall isn't just about money, it's about his legacy. The man once hailed as the greatest boxer of all time is now increasingly seen as a figure wrapped in controversy. His flashy lifestyle, multiple fraud accusations, legal issues, and questionable political ties have started to overshadow his legendary career. The big question now is, can Mayweather regain the public's trust and rebuild his legacy? Some boxing experts believe it's still possible, but they warn it won't be easy. The path back to the top won't be the same as before, and many of Mayweather's former fans are starting to wonder if they can keep supporting him after all that's come to light.
Walmart, Walgreens, when they're getting money in their 50s, their 60s, their 70s, 80s, and even 90s, it's okay. A young kid like myself from the inner city, from the ghetto, I worked my way to the top. I was able to leave boxing on my own terms and keep all my faculties, kept a lot of my money. So they're upset that I'm able to go out there and continue to make 40 and 50 and 60 million outside the ring. You can't get mad.
While Floyd Mayweather continues to flaunt stacks of cash and designer jewelry on Instagram, a closer look at his actions reveals a man still spending like it's 2015, even though his income has slowed significantly. The signs are becoming harder to ignore. Mayweather's actions are now speaking louder than his denials. From his extravagant spending at the Super Bowl to his attempts to cash in through high-priced online meet and greets, Floyd's financial decisions seem increasingly desperate to AT the Super Bowl. Instead of making headlines for anything boxing-related, Mayweather made waves for dropping over $1.1 million on a luxury suite to watch the game. And it wasn't a small, private outing. He brought 34 people with him and made sure to share the whole spectacle with the world.
I'm looking at us getting ready. Super Bowl weekend, Las Vegas. We had to get the ones, make it rain. I need everybody. I mean everybody. At Girl Collection, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the Super Bowl, or whoever win or lose, it don't matter. I need everybody there. Girl Collection. Yeah.
On Instagram, Mayweather wrote, "I don't kiss ass and I never have to beg for anything, especially not to get a Super Bowl suite. I don't mind accepting invites at times, but one thing's for sure, the person paying does all the talking. So I get my own seats and suites, so I can do what I want and invite who I want. I'm blessed to be taking 34 people to experience the first Super Bowl in Las Vegas. Over $1 million. While this may sound like confidence to some, many view it as recklessness. What Mayweather framed as independence and financial freedom comes off to many as another example of wasteful spending, especially when he followed up with a post revealing he had just paid a massive $18 million tax bill to the IRS. He wrote, "Just before I paid that little million for the Super Bowl stuff, I had to pay the IRS aka Uncle Sam $18 million. This is what I owed in taxes while I'm retired. So just imagine what I was paying when I was active." In just a few weeks, Mayweather dropped nearly $20 million on taxes and a lavish party suite. All of this comes from a retired athlete whose major fights are behind him. These aren't isolated events. Mayweather's extravagant lifestyle has always been part of his brand, but the problem now is that the income to support it just isn't there anymore. There's no big fight on the horizon, pay-per-view money has dried up, and he hasn't fought a real professional match since 2017. While his exhibition matches get attention, they're nowhere near as profitable as the bouts he once had. Former UFC fighter Chael Sonnen didn't hold back when discussing Mayweather's situation. He bluntly stated that Floyd is broke, and he points to Mayweather's recent choices as proof.
You'll see reports. You mentioned 100 million for Floyd. The reports are 130. First off, he's never gotten 100 million for a fight. Not even remotely close. But there's reports of 130. Wow. There's reports online that Floyd's a billionaire. There's reports that he was the highest paid athlete in this year over Christian Ronaldo.
Chael Sonnen didn't mince words when discussing Mayweather's situation. He confidently stated, "I will tell you unequivocally right now, Floyd Mayweather does and is planning to box one more time. Floyd's broke. You've got to understand, the only thing more exaggerated than Floyd Mayweather's pay-per-view numbers is Floyd Mayweather's net worth." Sonnen continued, "He made a lot of money, but remember this, it doesn't matter what you made, it matters what you kept. And he is a dum-dum." Sonnen's harsh words are backed by others as well. Even 50 Cent, once close to Mayweather, has spoken out about the situation. He said that Floyd gets himself into uncomfortable spots when it comes to spending. He's going to try to spend it all. The gambling and the girls get him every time.
So the money's really gone.
Yeah, that's what you think. It's get the money, spend the money.
All that money.
Yeah, it took been 2 years.
So is it just his overhead is so high on a day-to-day, month-to-month? Like
I don't even want to talk about it. Like within lifestyle, that money's gone. Trust me. Now it's like you call him, he'll be at your local host in a nightclub because you need that action right now.
The issue with Mayweather's spending is that it's not strategic. He's not investing in businesses or building a startup empire. His money goes into luxury travel, constant jewelry purchases, shopping sprees, strip clubs, and sports betting, often shared live on social media. Unlike his prime years, the big, high-paying fights that once replenished his bank account aren't on the horizon anymore. This has backed him into a corner, which likely explains why he's resorted to charging outrageous prices for things like online meet and greets. In 2023, fans had to pay £1,200 just to join one of his live digital sessions. That's not the behavior of someone financially secure, it's a hustle, plain and simple.
And he's generated so much more money. His own promotion, the money team, he organizes his purse. Deep it. The fight he had with Oscar De La Hoya soon after he broke out that contract was 8 million. With no management team or whatever around him, that's 8 M's for him.
People say he's broke because of the lifestyle he lives, or he's a very big gambler and whatnot, this, that, blah, blah. But does the exhibition fights, people are like, oh, if you're not broke, why is he doing exhibition fight?
In public, Floyd continues to maintain the same image. In interviews, he'll say things like, "It's crazy, you guys hear things about Floyd needing money. I don't need anything, but I don't mind making some more money." But his actions don't line up with his words. No one spends over $1 million on a Super Bowl suite unless they're trying to maintain an image. No one posts an $18 million tax bill unless they're trying to prove something. The truth is, Mayweather is defending a brand that no longer has the earnings to back it up.
Why did Floyd Mayweather become a tax accountant? Because he wanted to pinch those bills into submission. 19 million of them. Lord of mercy, you can't make this stuff up.
Mayweather knows this all too well. He understands how quickly fortunes can vanish. In one of his rare introspective moments, he said, "It's not about what you make, it's about what you keep." That line has come back to haunt him because right now, what is kept doesn't seem to be enough. His fight history since retiring highlights this more clearly than any financial statement. In 2023 alone, he faced both Aaron Chalmers and John Gotti III, neither of whom are considered top-tier boxers or even significant opponents.
You're 50 years old. You're a legend in the sport. I've stood up for you in countless interviews, including Shannon Sharp's podcast last week. But you have to stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life is hard. I know life is expensive. But come on, dude, put your legacy first. Nobody wants to remember you like this. And it gets worse. Your jeweler filed a lawsuit against you in Miami. And many are saying you're going to have to sell off your assets. I hate seeing this.
These recent bouts have been low-stakes exhibition matches, marketed more like YouTube events than actual sporting contests. Yet, they've become some of his few active sources of income. What's even more concerning is the growing skepticism within the boxing world. Behind closed doors, promoters, fighters, and gym owners are starting to talk. Floyd Mayweather is increasingly seen as desperate, and his credibility is eroding, not in terms of his past accomplishments, which remain legendary, but in how he's now perceived. In 2025, the story that once made him admired, the tale of beating the system, being his own promoter, and walking away on his terms, no longer holds up. Now, he's being dragged into exhibition matches and online hustles just to keep the money flowing.
Yeah. Until somebody beat him, that's who he is.
You think he should step back in the ring?
I think he got to right now because the money gone.
So the money's really gone?
Yeah. That's what you think. It's fight, get the money, spend the money, fight.
All that money.
And it's been 2 years.
So is it just his overhead is so high on a day-to-day, month-to-month? Like
I don't even want to talk about it. Like with the lifestyle, that money is gone. Trust me. Now it's like, if you call him, he'll be.
Another major issue hanging over all of this is Floyd's refusal to adjust his lifestyle. Many athletes, even the wealthiest, downsize after retirement to avoid burning through their savings. Floyd, however, hasn't done that. He shows no sign of slowing down. Private flights, a massive entourage, constant shopping, he's living as lavishly as ever. Financial advisors will tell you that if the income stops but the expenses keep piling up, it's only a matter of time before the bubble bursts. For Floyd, that time seems dangerously close.
Just another ordinary day, chilling in an EWB Rolls Royce. For those that don't know what an EWB is, that's an extended wheelbase Rolls Royce. I need the leg. I know I ain't that tall, about 5'8.5", some days 5'9", but it is what it is. Chilling, sitting right here watching the Thriller in Manila, Ali versus Frazier documentary.
Clip 20. While Floyd insists he doesn't need money, every headline he makes tells a different story. Whether it's a massive tax bill, a controversial political appearance, or a desperate attempt to capitalize on his fame, the Mayweather empire is no longer as solid as it once was. The issue isn't just about money, it's about perception. In the court of public opinion, Floyd is no longer the king of cool. He's becoming a cautionary tale, an icon who couldn't make the transition out of the spotlight.
You know, I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that...
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
A man who once had it all but didn't plan for what comes next. Yes, Mayweather still has resources, property, and a loyal following, but the cracks in his armor are too big to ignore. The lawsuits, tax bills, exhibition fights, and high-priced fan interactions all paint a picture of someone desperately trying to maintain a fantasy in real time. What's your take? Share it below and subscribe for more updates.